Hello. Quick disclaimer, I am sick. I have been sick for the past 5 days, and I need to do literally anything other than lie in bed. And I've decided to make this video essay. So I've watched a lot of YouTube sketch comedy. It's one of my autistic hyperfixations, and one channel I used to watch when I was a preteen was The Warp Zone. Now, the Warp Zone was never huge by any metric. They have amassed a follower count of 3 million, but they never felt particularly big. They were bought by Defy Media, but were also given the rights back to their channel by Mythical Entertainment when they bought them alongside Smosh in 2018, and they have been quietly limping into irrelevance ever since off the backs of sponsorships and Patreon money. I am certain that unless something changes soon, their channel will die. The Warp Zone consists of 5 cisgender white men who do sketch comedy about pop culture, video games, general nerdy bullshit. They don't strike me as, particularly, bigoted. They wouldn't get defensive and hostile if I pointed out they had said something sexist, but they aren't the kinds of people who would, introspect about their own bigotry. Anyway, that's not particularly important. The point of this video is I want to complain about a specific sketch of theirs that I despise, because it shows everything I think is fundamentally wrong with the way the Warp Zone produces its content. This video is called Doctor Strange 2, but 23% smarter.
Then I'll finally be happy. And no one can stand in my way!
Wow. Okay, you're at an 11 right now, Wanda. Maybe we can try and bring it down to somewhere in the 6 to 8 range?
Now, I have a lot of negative opinions of this video, so I'll get the nice things I have to say out the way first. The production is very well done. The way that they've lit the actors really, makes it look like they're a part of the scene. This is something a lot of internet content creators either take way too long to figure out how to do or just never figure out how to do it all. It really adds to the whole thing. And their outfit choices. The costuming is good. It looks like the outfits that they wore in the movie. It's an immersive video. I will give it that it is an immersive video. I am now done with all the nice things I have to say.
Love the plan. 2 notes, though. 1, it's super evil, and 2, it's super dumb. I mean, did you put any thought into this, or are you just straight riffing at this point?
So the core comedy of this sketch is about deconstructing Wanda's plan to kill America Chavez, to absorb her multiversal traversal power so that she can find a universe where her children exist, kill her doppelganger, and assume her role as their mother. The sketch gets its comedic style from the same evolutionary branch as CinemaSins, or How It Should Have Ended. Comedy is derived from poking fun at a movie's perceived flaws. This comedic style is not inherently bad, but I've yet to see someone who can do it long term without at some point losing their sincerity and misrepresenting films for the sake of adhering to the format. This is the same reason I hate the Pitch Meetings series. Now, I think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the movie this sketch is parodying, is pretty good. I enjoyed the visuals, and while the plot was bare bones and not super compelling, the character banter and sheer spectacle of it all was a good time, 7 out of 10. This was not the common consensus amongst other watchers, and I'd say rightly so. This movie was laced with IP name drops, nostalgia baiting. It doesn't work with the setup WandaVision left it with, and the way it squanders the multiverse mechanic is kind of disappointing. There are many valid reasons to dislike this film, and it has many things worth criticizing that, while not deal breakers for me, are very understandable as deal breakers for other people. This was roundabout when the discourse consensus became Marvel is in its flop era.
Okay, well, if you're open to some constructive criticism, here are my 2 cents. Maybe instead of murdering America, you could try working with her. Help her develop her powers, become a mentor to her, because A, not murdering is better than murdering. That's just Hero 101. And B, by teaching her, you might actually gain some parenting skills that I think will be pretty helpful in the near future. May take a little while, but patience is an important skill to cultivate if you want to have kids.
Firstly, they address the first part of this in the fucking text. Wanda states explicitly why she thinks she has to take the power for herself.
When you could force America to send you to any universe you want, why take her power for your own? You know it will kill her.
For Billy and Tommy, to protect them. What if they get sick? In the infinite multiverse, there's a cure for every illness. A solution to every problem.
She doesn't just want her kids, she wants control of their safety. If America fucks off to another universe outside of Wanda's reach and her kids get sick, Wanda can't do shit about fuck. This is a control thing. She watched her kids die in front of her, and because of the Darkhold's corrupting force, that desire to have them back and to keep them safe have taken over. She hasn't even considered that her kids might not want this, because that's what turns her to the side of good at the end of the movie. Her kids watching her do evil shit and being scared of her. She's fully locked in. She hasn't considered the moral implications. She knows what she wants and doesn't care. This also has like a very unfortunate sexist energy to it. Like, you could frame this in a lot of ways, but they chose to frame this with a guy talking condescendingly to a woman about why her plan sucks, and her just going like,
Oh. Yeah, let's just do that.
Now, like, the tragic part is I know it's not intentional, because this is like a comedic playground that this guy specifically really likes to play in. It's a type of thing he just does a lot in sketches, where he just takes this specific tone and complains about, like, his pop culture opinions. But, like, it just really hits differently when it's framed like this.
I mean, Freddy, look at games like Until Dawn and PT and Soma. What do they all have in common? What makes a good horror game is its ability to take away a sense of power from the player, instilling the feeling of fear and helplessness. Now, the best games usually do so by putting the player in situations that leave them feeling emotionally powerless. Now, in Until Dawn, you're given a cast of characters that you care about and are forced to make choices that directly affect whether or not they survive. So you spend the whole game second-guessing yourself and worrying about whether you're making the right choice to keep them alive, and it's that fear of loss that leaves you feeling powerless.
Now, the final criticism I'll give the Warp Zone via this video is it feels dated. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness came out like a while ago. A lot of this discourse that I mentioned was a thing has passed over. People generally agree that Marvel is in its flop era. There's no discussion about it. And that's kind of what this video is like for. And this is something that's the problem with making sketch comedy about pop culture. Pop culture is constantly in flux, so anything you make about pop culture deteriorates very quickly. There's a great video by Innuendo Studios about Abed and how Abed breaks the fourth wall, and in it he has this little segment about the choice to make pop culture content. And when you date your content, it just takes a few years for it to feel kind of old. You scroll like a little bit into the Warp Zone's content and it already starts to feel musty. They don't have anything that stands out. When I think about my favorite YouTube sketch comedy channels, I'm often thinking about evergreen videos. An evergreen video is a video that you can rewatch when you like see it. You watch it and you go, I want to watch that, and it still feels fresh, it still feels fun to watch. A good sketch comedy channel won't have only evergreen videos. That's impossible, or at least very hard to do. It's not easy to make an evergreen video, but a good sketch comedy channel will have a few. The Warp Zone has none, because everything they talk about, everything that their comedic premises are centered around, are always focused on the now, on the current thing. And I think that that's what's part of killing them. I think about like modern comedy channels like Wizards with Guns, Like a Fox Studios, Door Monster, and the reason that those guys continue to put stuff out, regardless of how well they're funded, is because they have evergreen videos. When I see one of their videos in my feed that I really like, I'll rewatch it, and I'll remember, oh yeah, I really like this channel, I haven't seen them in a while, and I'll binge a couple. That's what an evergreen video does for a sketch comedy channel. Because back in the day, when you were watching sketch comedy on TV, you had to watch a whole bunch. Now, we get individual sketches, and our only way to on-ramp back onto the channel are the really good ones we come back to. And if you look at the current state of the Warp Zone's like YouTube page, they have 3 million subscribers. Their latest video was posted 2 months ago, and it has 15,000 views. Every video, you could see the numbers going down. And that's not necessarily a problem. if you're, making art, maybe it doesn't resonate with everyone, and that's okay, but when you're doing a sketch comedy as a job, and you're making it this way, this isn't art. Well, it's not intended to be. This is content. And it's not good content. Thank you for